have an original Smith's tractor meter, which is the clock on the gold belly in the middle of the dash, the rev meter, the speedometer, whatever you want to call it. They were known as a tractor meter anyway. I said I'd start doing a little bit of work on this original Smith's oil pressure gauge. Now I had a bit of a time trying to get this pipe out of the back, but we got it out eventually. This is most likely the correct gauge for the tractor, so it will look well beside a Smith's tractor meter. So I've tested it there with the air gun, so there's about 40 psi in the compressor over there, so I'm able to see them by using the air gun, and pointing it into the back of this gauge there where the pipe goes, see if this needle moves, and it does. So we just given the glass a bit of a polish up. It was fairly bad. There is a hole there, and I think that's where moisture gets in. You can still see a little black dot there. It's actually a bit of a spider's web, and you can see a bit of a spider's web there. That is okay. They're not paying rent now. What can we do about it? The treads aren't great here. The two brass kind of nuts, if washers, kind of hand nuts if you want, aren't in the greatest nick, but I might be able to rob a better set of them off a Ferguson 20 diesel TVO gauge. This is one that I had stripped, cleaned the dial in. It was actually cleaned up really well, polished the glass and put it back together. So that's something that I'll be fitting to my own 20 diesel. It's not the best face on it, but we might be able to get a better one of them at some point. But this also seems to work. Maybe these will fit, I don't know. It will work out now fairly lively if they fit or not. If they do, we're in business. Yeah, they do. So that might get us out of a hole. Oh, that one's good and tight there. I'm going to be careful of what I use on that. I don't want to go damaging it at all. So we'll just very carefully grab it here. Like, you'd only put it on by hand. There's no need to be going tight on it. Here we go. It's just the little grips on these for your fingers are important, because especially on the 35 you have to reach up fairly far. So the more grips that are on it, the more chance you'll be able to tighten it up. I'll definitely be picking out a few washers on for this oil pressure gauge here, because the threads just are not good enough on it. They're going fairly well, and I don't think I have a die that's small enough for that. So that is that bit. We'll see these old fairly warm ones go on here. If they do, we're winning. If not, yeah, it's not surprising now, to be honest with you. But you know what, there's a far better chance that I'll be able to get something to fit that compared with that there. Okay, I'll just try the other one here now. See, does that want to? No, it doesn't. Okay. Right, we're not going to go fretting yet. What we'll do is we'll just keep both of them. If I can get away with using the original nuts, I will. These are a little bit loose, if I want to be honest. But they do tighten up lovely. That's the original bracket. Now that all needs to be wire brushed. Just trying to gauge how far back I have to go with this. Yeah, it should do the trick if we're stuck. Yeah, about there. So that is going to be a project for when I get the original tractor meter. I just went around the face of it there with metal polish as well. It's really come up. The quality of whatever you want to call that is a chrome. It's not even chrome, I don't think. I just went around all here with the wire brush and the Dremel. So I'm just going to show you how I test them. I mean, there's no, you know, before you actually fit them to the engine, you're fairly limited in how you can test them. There's about 40 psi in the tank there at the moment. Okay, we've got a bit of a flicker there on the camera from, I don't know, it's the sun or something coming in the door. So there you go. So that seems to be bang on, and as you can see, it is only, what is there in it? Yeah, there's about 40 psi in that. So that's going to be a little project. Now, we did have problems getting the oil pressure gauge to seal in this particular gold belly because someone had done a botched job on the pipe. Well, not even a repair, we'll call it a repair. So I had to do a bit of pipe flaring and stuff. But yeah, so there's an aftermarket oil pressure gauge in the dash at the moment, and I just don't know, are they calibrated very well, being honest. I think they're probably meant to fit a lot of things. So that should go in there fairly easy. So the 20 diesel is obviously a lot easier to access, you know, for fitting. It's right there, like. Whereas the, I have to get the torch for the, gold belly. It's up and under. There it is. I was looking for that last night as well. It's way up. You see the little joiner, then it goes up and up and up and up, and you can just make it out up there, but the camera won't focus. Right, so bloody hard to tighten that in, but we will get there. I had not, as I said, an awful problem getting it out, getting the pipe out, but it looks fairly clean in there. So what I might do with this is actually paint some nice enamel paint on that fairly rusty metal, stop it rusting anymore, and maybe a bit of primer first. Although I'd probably have to be careful enough to make sure it actually fits. Let me see, where would we find a 35 dash? You can see two 35 dashes here. So obviously when things corrode, they don't always end up getting narrower. Let's turn on the light here in a minute now and I get the camera on the stand. Sometimes they can actually get a little bit crusty and all of that, so that can make them harder to fit. So we'll just take a look at this dash here for a minute. This is the dash that came with this gold bit. We have another one up there as well from a 4-cylinder 35 Massey. I'll have a quick look and see if this is going to fit easy enough. Right, it is, yeah. So we shouldn't have problems there. These are all the checks you need to do before you go painting something. Brilliant. So that would be a little project. We'll try and keep them two together in the one video, because the fitting of the clock should be fairly straightforward. Or any dem style nuts, if you want to call them, quick nuts, whatever, finger nuts probably, whatever. And it'll just be a matter of lifting that up, disconnecting the cable going to it that drives it. But then we'll have two Smiths. We'll have two Smiths gauges back in the dash. Just treating it to a little bit of original. This is another Smiths one here from a 1958 4-cylinder diesel Massey 35, but it's too far gone, I think, to get repaired. I don't know, is that ever going to work again? Because I think this has to screw off. It's a pity. Only shows 754 hours before it stopped working. So I just leave it there just as a little showpiece. So there we go. That'll be another little video on this. So we'll actually add in the clock. It's with Specialist at the moment. When the clock comes back, we'll have a look at it in this video and we'll fit it. And then when we're in there, we'll try and get that oil pressure gauge in as well and see is it working properly. So there you go, just a short video on the bit of work I did on this Smith's oil pressure gauge. The last video I put up showed me fitting this gauge and testing it, but then I found this video on the camera and I said I'd upload it. So we'll catch you in the next one.